I'm going to give you guys my Fantastic Four review here. Fantastic Four, I saw it last night. It just came out 2 days ago.
Yep. I didn't even know they made another movie.
We're going to watch a trailer here for it in a second. But I want to give my review because Marvel, there's a lot we could say about Marvel, but Marvel has obviously been bad since Endgame, right? Everybody, it's objective truth.
Yeah, I basically stopped watching after Endgame.
Yeah, totally fair. Totally fair. I've been, there's certain things I haven't watched because it's just
first half of WandaVision was good.
Yeah, I think overall WandaVision was fine. The ending was the weakest part of it for sure. But if the first half is what you liked, you might like Fantastic Four. Here's why. Fantastic Four, same director. And the stuff about WandaVision that was good was the period piece stuff, because that's what he does really well. Fantastic Four, it's a period piece. 1960s. Yeah, Marvel's been bad. Like, there's been things here and there that are cool, like projects that have some interesting things in it. I thought Spider-Man was pretty good. It's not as good rewatching, but like it was pretty good. So there's been redeeming qualities to this saga or whatever, the multiverse saga. But the multiverse, so overstayed its welcome. Like every movie has just been, how can the multiverse be used as a plot point in this 616 timeline, like the main timeline? Like in Spider-Man, it's like, we couldn't have just had a Spider-Man movie. It had to be a Spider-Man movie where the multiverse is affecting Spider-Man. We couldn't have a Doctor Strange movie. It was a Doctor Strange movie where the multiverse, like, it would have been great if just the ones that maybe made sense to get the multiverse involved, but it just seemed like it was in every single one, right? Mm-hmm. The cool thing about Fantastic Four is, like, when you introduce the idea of the multiverse, it's kind of fun to think like, well, you could have these really unique stories that take place in their own universes, right? This movie is like, what if the Fantastic Four were the only heroes that exist in that world? They're not in a world full of superheroes. And it's this retro 1960s future world where, like, they have future tech, but it's all kind of like Fallout, right? Like retro 1960s tech. And you can have stakes for this world, and it's not the main timeline, but it does, because it's during the multiverse, like it has some stuff that matters for the rest of the universes or whatever, because it probably will. But that was, to me, it made it unique in like a saga where we've had all these movies where it's like the multiverse is just being thrown in, like sprinkled on top of a main timeline movie. Instead, they're like, oh, let's just go to a cool, let's make something artistic and interesting and cool because it's set in a different universe. Like, that sounds awesome. And so my point was just to say, in a multiverse saga, this movie takes place in it. And that wasn't the antagonist basically wasn't the existence of the multiverse. I really appreciated that. That was my whole point.
Yeah. Where having the stakes, in a cool way. Having the stakes being lower than actually just destroying every single universe. Yeah,
world destruction stakes still, of course, because it's a superhero.
But that's brought down.
Yeah, that's been brought down from
that
all timelines across all, which is going to probably be how all this ends, right, with the next Avengers movie. But I just thought it was unique because it was like I imagine the director was like, oh, you want me to make a Fantastic Four movie and it's taking place during all this multiverse stuff? So what if I made this cool world, right? Because the world that the main timeline is in is basically our world with superheroes. But he's like, what if there was a world where it's all cool, retro, futuristic 1960s vibe? And like, oh, I can do that because we can tell stories that involve other universes. Oh, wait, not involve other universes. It's in a different, it's like totally contained. And I thought that was very cool. Because now, and I think I wish it was more of that, like things like that, and then bringing them all together. The idea of the multiverse, it is interesting, and you could tell interesting stories, and I think they've been failing. I'm hoping, like Jared said, that they wrap it up together at the end and make it somewhat satisfying so they can just move on with somewhat of a decent foundation and just do some cool movies again. Let's just talk about Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, I'm hoping that this is indicative of the ship being moved in the right direction. That's my whole thing. I liked it. There's my review. I liked it. I really did enjoy it. My main reasons I'll talk about. Let's just watch the trailer.
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head up into space and come back forever changed.
This car?
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls.
Thing having white teeth freaks me out.
And his voice not being gravelly at all.
Thank you, fantastic.
Fantastic
It should be
Four.
granite.
Thank you, Fantastic
Granite teeth.
Please
Marble.
welcome the Fantastic Four.
Four.
I actually really like the music in this.
Herbie, how's that
cool.
sauce looking?
Have you seen the bear?
Okay.
Have you seen the
That is
bear?
Fantastic.
No.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world. And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. We are gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do this. Nothing's going to change.
Why did she say it?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, if she hadn't said that.
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
Are we safe?
I don't know. There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up. We will face this together. We will fight it together. As a family. Has to be us.
That scene is cool, where he does the context to it.
We will protect you.
They said the thing.
Dude. All right, Joel, you can go back to the thing. It just shows us now. Thank you.
That actually looks really good.
Galactus.
I love that Pedro Pascal is in everything ever now.
It's so
I literally wrote that down as
good.
one of my my gripes with the movie. I wrote like things I liked about it and then wrote at the bottom. Automatically loses points for having Pedro Pascal in it. I actually like Pedro Pascal. I want to like him.
Yeah.
I like him. My problem, like when he's in movie, like I like his acting. I think he's really good at emotion. My problem with Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
That he's in everything. That I think they put him in this movie just because they wanted a big name in the movie. He doesn't really fit the description of Reed Richards. I think that, like, is he a good actor? They put a good actor in there. But when you watch the movie, I didn't feel like I was watching the movie and being like, when he's on screen, like I'm watching Reed Richards. It felt like I'm just watching Pedro Pascal, who's a relatively likable face, like in a movie, not so much everywhere else. He's so weird.
Yeah.
He's such a weird guy. But he's like relatively likable. So it's like, yeah, it just didn't feel like I'm watching Reed Richards on the screen. It felt like I was watching Pedro Pascal doing cosplay, kind of like as Reed Richards, which is whatever. Like that was my biggest gripe with the movie, I think. Maybe at least have him shave his face. It was just because
but then he won't look like Pedro Pascal.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my point. Like it would have helped me not be watching and being like, oh, this is Pedro Pascal with his mustache or whatever. Like, if they shaved his face, I think that would have helped it go, oh, I'm watching a movie about the Fantastic Four.
What
Yeah, you
put
went
him on
for the
this
Reed
trajectory?
Richards and then stayed for Pedro Pascal. That's what you're saying.
I didn't stay for Pedro Pascal. I stayed despite Pedro Pascal. I wish they had just been like, oh, we don't need this big name that's literally in everything. I think that's probably why they cast Pedro Pascal. And it's not like he's a bad actor. That would have been. It's like he does a good job. He really demonstrates like the family man well, and it's like he's really emotional, loves his family, but the character is supposed to be really analytical.
Yeah.
I didn't find it believable that Pedro Pascal is the smartest person to ever live. Like that's the Reed Richards thing.
Yeah,
They give him lines where he says things like, I invented teleportation. It's like, well, I guess then he must be smart, but like make me believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like don't just give
You're
him
saying all of these things,
nerdy
but
lines. So that's fine. But there was one scene that I felt kind of like, oh, that is really who Reed Richards is supposed to be. Because like Reed Richards is supposed to be like, I don't know. Can I spoil things? Does it matter, do you think? I'm going to talk about spoilers from this point forward. In this movie, the plot revolves. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Spoilers. The plot revolves around they're pregnant, and their baby is going to have big time superpowers, right? Their baby's supposedly some cosmic, powerful level human.
How did they find that out?
They find that out because all the ultrasounds and tests he does don't show any. What they find out later is apparently the baby is so powerful, he's hiding his power from his dad's tests. As an infant. Yeah. While in the womb, like his power is hiding itself from him. But they find out that he's powerful because Silver Surfer shows up, who they gender swapped in this movie.
Yeah.
And there is precedent for that character. Like there is a female Silver Surfer in the comics, but it's like not the Silver Surfer. Yeah. It's kind of a what if thing. It's like because he dies and his wife becomes the Silver Surfer. But whatever. They made her gender swap. Like, so it's not a perfect movie. They still are catering to some extent to like some of the political stuff, but it's not nearly as ham-fisted in your face as it has been. And I didn't think she was that bad. Like, she's one of my gripes with the movie, that it wasn't the Silver Surfer, but she's really not that bad. And because she's barely in the movie. But she shows up and she's like, hey, I'm the Herald of Galactus, this guy that eats worlds. Great. Okay. So they go to a world being destroyed by Galactus because they're next. And they see it happen.
The Silver Surfer's Venora.
They go to a world that is being destroyed by Galactus, and it's terrifying. And this is the thing, one of the things about the movie that's really cool. Incredible visuals. Like, he is huge. And like they show up and they're like, whoa, I thought that there's supposed to be like that guy here. I just see a planet coming out of the planet. Then it like shows a wide shot of their ship that's like itty bitty tiny next to this arm or something. Like, it was cool to see huge things. They talk to him and he's like explaining who he is. I'm a cosmic entity. I've always been around. I'm necessary to the universe. I consume energy so that universes can be reborn or something like that, right? He's like, he's a natural part of the entropy of the universe or whatever.
I've come to bargain.
Yes. That's basically what they're there for. They're like, Galactus, we've come to bargain. And then he's like, and you're next. What have you, are you here to beg for mercy? And they're like, no, we're hoping to change your mind, basically. And he's like, wait a second. And then he like scans her belly and he goes, oh, yeah, I'll bargain. Give me your son and I won't destroy your world. It's a cool story because, dude, Marvel been super gay for a while.
They could have been like God, you know?
And in this, the whole movie is about a family, like a dad and mom and a brother and a best friend who are like this family. Well, they really are family. They're not like the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like a found family. They are family, trying to protect their family while also trying to balance on the head of a pin the universe being destroyed. I thought that was interesting because what wins out in the end is family values. So I compared this. I came out of being like, you know, it was kind of like when you watch The Quiet Place. Was The Quiet Place political? No. What you come out of The Quiet Place, why conservatives liked it is because it was like, oh, they had a movie where the thing that was being valued was your family.
And like, that's an unborn child.
So that's my next point. Dude, abortionists have to hate this movie because she's pregnant. And this was such a cool visual. He's like, we got to keep doing these tests on the baby. So he's like, got this little thing that's going to like run just an energy test. And she's like, you want to see the baby? Turns just her belly invisible. So you see a baby in there. And I was sitting there, and I immediately turned to Perry and I was like, that clump of cells looks an awful lot like a baby. And the person next to me definitely heard me say that. I was like, wait a second. I thought that was just a clump of cells in there until it goes through the magical birth canal and becomes a baby. Because like, that's a baby in there. And like, they clearly showed that.
Did they have Johnny be like, well, he's not born yet, so we can just give him up, right?
There was nothing like that.
No?
I was really glad. I thought, okay, maybe there will be some scene where like in some backhanded way, they kind of like make, like they appease the people watching the movie that don't. No, there was never a moment like that.
They don't have like an unplanned parenthood in the back or something.
No. It was just about, hey, we're having a baby. We want to have a baby. The baby wasn't planned. Like they do say that. At the beginning, they're like, we stopped trying 2 years ago. And she's like, well, I guess it's time or whatever.
When
like,
it wasn't planned and they're going to keep it?
Yeah. Like, that was cool.
They're valuing it as a human life.
They value their family. I just liked that about the movie. So the whole point is like, they immediately come back and without question, they're like, we're not giving up our son.
They're having a boy.
And then when the baby's born and they're not giving over their son to this evil guy, but they're going to still try and save the world. And so I thought it was a cool story. My whole point was just like the movie, I liked it and it was cool. I just thought like it was well balanced. It was cool because the vibe is really cool, retro 60s. So they get to actually use the multiverse in a cool way. Like you're going to this other universe. And I thought it had a decent message. Like especially right now as Christians, I think we should somewhat keep up with what's going on in the culture. I don't think we have to be steeped in it, but like we can be aware of these sorts of things and then use that as opportunities to talk to people. And when I was getting my hair cut yesterday and we were talking about how like movies he likes and he knows that I'm a youth pastor and I was talking about movies I like. And he was like, oh, I would have expected you to see this one because it's really churchy. And he's like, oh, you probably haven't seen this one because it's not. But the movie he said, I don't remember what it was, but it was like not an inappropriate movie. It was just like a movie. And he's like, yeah, but it's not very churchy, so it doesn't have, not everything in it is totally appropriate. I'm like, that's okay. You know, like I'm not gonna watch movies that are gratuitously disgusting, but like I could watch that and not be like, oh, I'm not a Christian anymore, you know? Like I could watch, oh, this person used a bad word. Well, that doesn't mean that I have to, you know? And he was like, oh, okay, that's a good perspective. We had a good conversation about it. And then we were talking about how movies that aren't even made by Christians, but they can get it right still. Like movies can have gospel illustrations in them. And me as a Christian, like I can point to those and say like, hey, you like this story and you think it's a good, like valuable point being made by the story. Well, God says that is good. And the best version of that is Jesus, right? So in this, I liked that finally out of a Marvel movie, the lesson in it is like, no, we're not compromising our child for what we want personally. And I was like, dude, this movie, like the abortion debate, you know, we're not sacrificing children on the altar of convenience because it would have been really convenient for them to say, like from a logical standpoint, oh, one life for all these lives to live the way they want to live, which is to live, you know. The whole abortion thing being like, I'm going to sacrifice my child just so that I can live the way I want to live. That's a 1-to-1 and it's not okay. And in this, they're like, no, it's not okay. We're not doing that for the whole world. He's our son. We're going to protect him and we're going to try and beat the bad guy. So I liked it. I thought it was fun. 8 out of 10. Maybe it may be a lower score, but I'm just giving it an 8 because it's been so much garbage. And this is finally one that seems like it's in the right direction. But yeah, no overarching multiverse connections, even though there probably are some, but it wasn't like the movie left a character in another universe, for example, where it's like this big loose thread that better get wrapped up. There was nothing like that. It was a contained story. I really appreciated that. I liked it. It's worth watching. Doesn't mean you have to go to the theater. We don't really like to go to the theater very often. It's expensive, but there's a budget theater here in town, and it was date night, so we went and saw it.
Yeah, Northern Lights.
Yeah. Northern Lights, because you can get food too. Super good.
It's great.
So there you go. Marvel, it's been a pile of refuse for a long time. What does that guy say in Holes? We watched that at the movie night with the youth group recently. He's like,
well, that's true.
No, I thought it was so funny. The guy in Holes is like,
Smells like puke from a mule been ruminating on asparagus for 2 weeks.
Smells like donkey barfed on a pile of dog feet or something. I don't know, something funny. That's been Marvel for a while, right? There's just nuggets here and there. We're like, that's an interesting idea, but it's full. It's surrounded by barf. Well, this one, sure, maybe there's a couple like moments where I was like, whatever. But the whole movie as a whole, I really enjoyed it. And the worst thing to me, the worst offense, the thing I walked away not really liking is like, they just put Pedro Pascal in it because he's Pedro Pascal, probably. Whatever. And they gender swapped one character. All right. But she's not a pivotal character in my opinion. Ooh, a lot of fans are going to hate me for saying that.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer, he is very pivotal, but
she in this case.
Yeah. So there you go. There's my thoughts. I think it's worth watching.
Awesome.
It was fun. Cool. And it was cool in theaters because of the huge spectacle of the space stuff.